Yeah, I obviously appreciate being here. Really cool as we open up camp here in a week. Fortunate enough to bring two players with us. Gary Bohannon, who's a sixth-year quarterback, young man that transferred a year ago, has done an incredible job leading both sides of the ball and been a pleasure to be around. And then Rashad Cheney, who is actually a transfer, who has been leading on the defensive side and has been absolutely incredible for us. There's a bunch of guys we could have brought. Chose to bring two to represent our program and where we're headed, where we're going. You know, I got to South Florida 8 months ago. It's been a fascinating 8 months. You know, from everything mattering to the way that we've gone to work. The energy in the building is really converted in a huge way. We've tried to spend 8 months empowering our young men, making it really cool to be around, making it really cool to come in and work. And I want to thank our staff. It's been a really cool experience to work with the men and women that we were able to bring in. Certainly want to thank our players for buying in and continuing to help us build. You know, there's so much exciting stuff going on. Part of the reason I wanted to be a part of it is because of what's going on. You know, we're building a stadium. We're going to play in a new stadium on campus in 2026, which I think is a huge monumental step for us. 26 years into a football program, building a brand new football complex. Just got an indoor facility up. So we're heading into a direction where the commitment is real. What we're investing into the program is real, and it's been a fascinating ride. We've got 49 new football players on our roster since the day I got there, 38 scholarship guys. We've gone out and tried to fill gaps and also tried to add value really on all three sides of the ball to be able to put a roster together where we can go compete as fast as we can. You know, unique situation coming into a program with 35 seniors. Guys, a handful of those guys have another year in terms of a COVID year, but really a upperclassman heavy team, both between transfers and guys that stayed. But it's been really fascinating. 8 months watching a program come together, watching a program gel, setting a level of accountability, setting standards, and then holding guys to those standards, both coaches, players. You know, we adapted, and I'm not a big MATA guy or wristbands or slogans or any of that, but simply said, be who you say you are. Our coaches, our players, our support staff, everybody involved with the program. And I feel like if we can continue to build on that, a bunch of guys and gals that say that do what they say they're going to do, having a level of respect within our building, level of accountability, and really more than anything else, the ability to understand that we've got to be a process-driven group rather than a result-oriented group, and truly believe that process is the only way to build, setting standards within process, establishing processes for everything we do in terms of how we play, in terms of how we recruit, most importantly in terms of how we work. I still believe that the only way to build a program, sustain a program, is to work. And that's work in a physical manner, work in a tactical and technical manner, work on relationships within the buildings, work in recruiting, but work. And rolling your sleeves up, going to work every day, creating a culture of accountability, creating a culture of fun and energy, gives you the ability to, one, recruit, two, retain, and certainly then develop players the way you've got to develop them. You know, I think for us, coming off of 3 years that haven't been successful in any way, shape, or form, it's a matter of building confidence, taking this group where the roster is completely half of it brand new, but taking this group and instilling confidence. And again, confidence comes through work. But I truly believe confidence is earned through work, and that's what will give us a shot to go compete at an incredibly elite level. So when that happens, I don't know, but certainly hope it happens sooner than later. For us, it's about process and getting to where we got to go as fast as we can get there. But it's been an absolute an absolute joy to come into the building. I'm energized every morning I walk in, energized every morning that I get to work with our guys, our staff, and the people that support it. Like I mentioned earlier, the commitment to build our program how it should be built has been incredible. We've spent more money in the last 8 months than we've spent in the first 25 years of our program in terms of giving us the resources we need to go play at an elite level and compete at an elite level in the American Conference. So I'm humbled to be here. Really, really cool 2 days. I appreciate the American for putting it on. Really special for our players to see this as we head into camp next week. So I'll open it up to questions. Can you repeat that, Chris?
What questions would you like to see your team answered once practice begins?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of questions. You know, we've got a bunch of, by a bunch, we've got 13 guys, scholarship guys that we brought in after spring that we've got to see how they fit. You know, the way the models change, you get a summer with these guys, so you have an idea, but until you put pads on, it gets really hard. You really don't know. So we've got questions, I would honestly tell you, and it's not coach talk at every spot. It's wide open from quarterback to receiver to O-line, certainly running back, tight end, defensively up front. We've got a bunch of new bodies on the interior of the D-line. You know, certainly linebacker, we've got 2 new guys that came in that are going to compete, and the secondary, a bunch of new guys. So it's really at every spot. And again, it's not coach talk, but we're going to go in day one and compete. Feel a little bit like spring again, just with a bunch more knowledge that these guys have in terms of the scheme on all 3 sides of the ball. But I've got a bunch of questions. The one question that I don't have and that I'm really, really proud of is the fact that our guys are willing to compete and practice their tails off. That's the one thing I knew coming in and traditionally, and I'd spent a year in the state of Florida, these guys love to compete. It's fun to come to practice. It's fun to watch them compete. They talk a lot. It's a lot of fun. And so they'll compete. Now it's a matter of who the guys are, giving them the ability to go compete for jobs, giving them every opportunity to be successful. And then as the depth chart works itself out and we get closer to playing week 1, but we've got a lot of questions in terms of who the actual guys are, but I'm proud of the one question we don't have, which is the ability for us to go work.
Kristen, quick question in regard to a lot of new teams coming into the conference, bringing a lot of energy to the conference. Any team in particular you're looking forward to facing?
Yeah, that's a good question, Chris. And you know, we had our coaches meetings at the end of May, and it's kind of crazy maybe because I feel like I'm young still, but I've been doing this for a while. Most of those guys in that room I knew. So there's not anybody in particular that I look forward to facing. I look forward to playing week 1 when we're ready for that. We open up at Western Kentucky, and I look forward to that just because I want to see us go compete. I want to see where we are. But if there is a personal one in there somewhere, I'm going to keep it to myself, Kristen. They're always personal. Well, yeah, absolutely. Go Bulls. I appreciate it. Hopefully a year from now, we're relevant enough that we'll have a bunch of questions, so I appreciate it. Go Bulls.